attendance, and I think they're also pretty happy with where we're at right now today too. But I also didn't realize that we would leave $1 billion in the bank because I didn't think anybody was going to say no to a lot of good road projects without raising any tax. I couldn't imagine that was going to happen. So, as I'm campaigning, I never thought I, kind of would see it all play out like it is. But I can tell you, my folks back home are pretty excited about my making a lot of noise about education down here in St. Paul. I'm anxious to get this wrapped up so we can go home and get the money back in the district. So thank you.
The lady from Ramsey, Representative Murphy E.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And Representative Baker, I had heard from a superintendent in your district that the 1.5% and 2% in this bill will mean layoffs for teachers in that school district. I just got that tonight. So, I understand you're talking with them more often, but I do know that there are superintendents across the state, and I've talked with many of them who are very concerned about what they perceive as a lack of commitment on the part of your caucus and your leadership to the issue of education. I will make no bones about this. I have been a proponent of a really ambitious early learning investment for the kids of Minnesota, and really for our families, and really for our future. And I'm not alone in that, and I am not thinking about just one solution. I think our schools should be well funded. I think we should invest in universal pre-K, and we should make that down payment for our kids. I think we should invest in scholarships. We should be investing in ECFE. We have a yawning achievement gap. Our schools are behind in their funding. We could do so much more for our kids, and I sometimes hear, and again, as this education issue has really captured Minnesotans' attention in the last couple of days, I hear sometimes that cynical comment that we're just throwing money at a problem, that we're just throwing money at our schools. And I can't think of a more cynical and empty comment than that. And what is more bothersome to me than even that cynical comment is not doing enough for our schools and calling it good enough. And that's what this bill is doing. That is what your proposal is doing. You say you want to do something for the kids, you say you want to fight for our future, and yet you inadequately fund our schools, and you make a small and mediocre down payment on early learning when we know our future depends on it. And I just don't understand why, when we're putting some money into a piggy bank, so we can give ourselves a little more political time to think through what we might do with that money, why we couldn't take a section of that money and dedicate it to early learning, because we know it works, and we could do so much more for our kids. We could do so much more